are live.
Okay,
Hello,
awesome.
everyone. Hello, Lara.
Hi.
It's Paul here from ReactJS Academy. I'm here today to talk to Lara about her experiences as a student on our recent React Bootcamp. And so I'm not going to go too much about me because it's not about me, obviously. So Lara, tell me your name, job title, company name, how long you've been working in development. Tell me about you.
Well, I'm Lara, and I've been a developer for about 4.5 years. And I work at a company called Cozy. We have an app out there, and I work as the front end. And what was the other question?
So I think that's pretty much it, you know. So
Okay. Yeah.
in development. So why did you end up looking for why did you want to learn React?
There was a need both at my company and I had a personal need for it too. I started out at my job as an intern, and I've really been looking forward to push and excel and bring forward something to the company that other people didn't have a skill set in. And there was a big merge at my company. It started as a startup and entered into this big corporation. And a lot of people jumped ship, and a lot of the senior engineers bailed, and I found myself in a situation where I was the lead React developer, and I really just wanted to make sure that I was confident in best practices and bringing that to the company.
Right. So did you feel as though going from almost going in as a lead React and doing the bootcamp, do you feel as though you're much more confident being in that position now?
Yeah, I do. I was not a lead developer, but I was the only one who had some experience in React. And so I just wanted to fill those shoes and actually, build my confidence so that it was actually true, And so now what I'm doing is I'm leading a group of 2 developers, soon to be more, and teaching them what I've learned at React. And one of them includes my mentor, who used to work at Cozy before, and now he's come back. So, it's cool to teach your teacher some things.
Yeah. Do you enjoy teaching, kind of passing on your knowledge to others?
Yeah, I do. When I got back, I had to make this long, it was a 2-hour kind of tech talk about the highlights of React at ReactJS Academy. And after that talk, I got great feedback that they said, I looked and felt really confident, and I did feel and looked. Well, I don't know if I looked, but I felt really confident. And they said that I felt and looked really confident about my knowledge in React, and that's thanks to ReactJS Academy.
Do you feel as though because of that, your confidence now, do you feel as though that's kind of helped your career prospects in the future as well as in the present?
Yes, well, almost immediately, because I made that talk on Wednesday, and then the following Tuesday I was called into my manager's office, and he's in the works to getting me a promotion now. So
wow.
Yeah.
The course has really paid for itself in a lot of ways.
Yeah, in multiple ways. Yeah, I'm really happy with how things have turned out. Yeah.
So what would you say, what impact do you see the training have on your everyday work? So what kind of practical things that you can do now that you couldn't do before?
Well, I can. Since I've been back, I've looked through our code base, and I've been able to identify places where we aren't using best practices, or using advanced patterns where we could be, or using composition to build our components in a way that is going to make our app work more efficiently and effectively, and encapsulate our components in a way that is reusable. And so I've identified very specific places in the app where there are changes that need to be made, because, previous to ReactJS Academy, Lara was very creative And now post ReactJS Academy, Lara is knowledgeable and can see how creative I used to be. Yeah. Well, still creative, but you know, in not such a awesome way.
So like using the creativity that you have naturally then and the skill that we've learned together is really kind of like, you know, helping you out then, I'm guessing.
Yes. Yeah. Solidified. Push my creativity in the right direction rather than just a, you know, well, I think I'm doing the right thing and it works, you know, kind of way.
So do you think the new skills that you've got is changing the way that your company produces tech? It sounds like it does.
Yeah. So we're moving the app from basically a C# and oh, sorry.
That's no worries.
We're moving it from one language to React, and so it's basically being rewritten, and how we're thinking about our app is changing along with that direction. And I'm having to talk to different people, including services, on just how to think about what React can do for us, and that changes how people think about our app and what we can do with it. And we're now trying to, because we can use components, we're now, you know, think about trying to position ourselves so that we can platform and then build other apps on top of it.
Right. Okay. So in terms of, it sounds like you're transferring over to React. I mean, how much do you feel as though what you learned on the course has helped you do that, and obviously, you know, pass on that knowledge?
How much specifically at the course?
Yeah.
Pretty much the way that I think about React and the specific things that I learned at ReactJS Academy have helped focus my mind and be able to approach problems in a way that I get to the solution faster.
Right.
So like in thinking about advanced patterns and that kind of thing, learning those. I'm losing the words there, but yeah. Sorry.
I mean, do you feel as though it helped from a business standpoint? Do you think as though, like from like a business investment of changing over to a big tech, a big change in the tech, is potentially a big risk? Do you feel as though the knowledge that you gained on the course has really helped that along and eliminated some risk in a way?
Yes. Just because the way that I feel about it is that you know, everybody has a deadline, and previous to the ReactJS Academy course, there wasn't a lot of confidence that we were going to meet some deadlines, and our management kept having to push back dates. And now that I've returned, management has stopped messaging that way and has said, okay, well, here now, you know, now we're going to be ready for dog food, and now we're going to be ready for a beta, and now, you know, the deadlines are coming and the deadlines are going to be met, and so that reduces our risk with people above us, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it reduces stress as well, because obviously, you know, that communication can be a stressful thing to deal with.
Yeah. When you're unconfident, the stress levels, not only for you but everybody around you, can be super intense sometimes. And by attending ReactJS course, by attending ReactJS Academy, just it reduces the stress level in building your confidence. Great.
So overall then, let's like move away from your everyday work, because let's talk about the actual course itself. So what would you say are the advantages of a face-to-face course over online courses?
I would say, well, the number of coaches to student ratio is amazing. We had 3 coaches. We had Richard and Alex and
Francisco.
Francisco. That's right.
Yeah.
So we had three coaches. We had Francisco and Alex and Richard.
Yeah.
And the advantages of having like it was basically like one coach to every two students, and having that face-to-face time really helped accelerate my learning. So when I had a question, I could just approach someone, or if they were busy with another student, I could, message them, and they would, come over when they were done, and it would be right there and the question would be answered. And I found that really helpful over online courses. It just alleviated any question about if I was going in the right direction, if I was using the pattern right. And that in itself is, immeasurably helpful. I also enjoyed how the coaches interacted with the students, and specifically me. I was the only female in the group, but I was a part of the group, and they talked to me in a way that was super positive and just very supportive, and I really felt a part of the group. And you don't always get that when you're in a group full of dudes. So I thought that was great.
Well, that's fabulous. I mean, so would you say that the collaboration between you and other students was important?
Yeah. Whenever we paired together during the course, it was helpful to see how others approach the problem, and in a lot of ways, the way that I approached the problem wasn't the same way that the other person approached the problem, and pairing really did help, with seeing that how flexible React is, and then accelerated the learning just because I got different perspectives from multiple different people.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, what would you say, like in terms of like relationships with the people on the course, is something that you found like it was very important, not just from a learning perspective, from a personal perspective as well? Do you feel as though those two went hand in hand through the course?
Can you ask that question again?
Yeah, sure. Sorry. Would you say that kind of like having that personal interaction with other students who are in the same boat as you was, having that kind of like personal interaction was very important in terms of the learning, but not just that, but in terms of like networking, or like just getting different perspectives and opening yourself up to other experiences from them?
Yeah, having that interpersonal interaction with other students. It was an international course. We had people from Portugal, of course, and London, and then the US, and just interacting with people from, just on a personal level, just international students in general. You get to learn culturally how people develop different apps, how people approach problems. And also, there was great catered lunch. So, getting together over food is always good. I love food. And,
Sure.
and so you get some time to sit back and relax and meet people, and learn about them, and what they're doing in their career and personal life. And that's always fun and interesting. And then there's always, networking. So these people are going to be in the industry, and, there's ReactJS Academy has set up a way to interact with alumni that I think is really helpful. So, we can go and mingle in our collaborative meeting place there, and always, I've been going on and listing job openings that we have, and asking questions, and the coaches are always available, and they will, answer questions that I have even now after doing the course. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, that's the Slack channel, isn't it? So that's a
Yes.
helpful
Yeah.
thing for you. I mean, is that a helpful thing going through your career now? Because you've obviously the course is done. So like going forward, it means that you can come back to us for any other questions.
Yeah, yeah. And that builds on the confidence level, because now I'm not alone, right? So I'm not alone in my company. I'm not just like the expert at work, and then I have to have all the answers and then go hunt them down on, like, some forum on the internet. And I can go and I can ask my coaches, and they will come back with an answer. And not just the coaches, I can ask the alumni, people who have been through the course as well. So that
not feeling like a
that I have a group that I can go to. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. Being a UXer in a bunch of developers, I understand that. Like having that a lone wolf kind of feel, and having somewhere just to go to, just to check the smallest of things, is very helpful. I mean, I've got a similar thing for myself, so I understand completely.
Yeah.
How important were the coaches and their style of teaching, would you say?
Extremely important. The coach's style of teaching, they were all very open and friendly, and no question was stupid, and you could pretty much ask whatever question you wanted, and they would say, okay, well, I wouldn't approach it that way. Here's a better way to approach it. And the way that we kind of went through our day, we would have a lesson, and it was a prepared kind of interaction and lecture, and then we would do exercises. And the way that kind of went back and forth, where we learned about it and then applied it immediately, that way was a good way to learn.
Do you feel like you got a better depth of knowledge through that process?
Yeah. I mean, if you just do a tutorial and somebody's like talking and talking and talking and talking, and you do the exercise and you do the exercises, if you think of like something in the application that you're working on, or a different scenario of when you might use that technique, you can't ask an online, immediate question of like, okay, well, can you use that pattern in this other way? Or, is it, or what about this situation? You can't get those questions answered in the moment. You have to like email somebody maybe, or like, or just go through and not ask the question, not have the opportunity to ask the question. And I think that enhanced learning, just to have that immediacy and, the availability of the instructor right there.
Yeah. So would you say that the course was worth it for you?
I think so. Just a little bit. I think I got my return on investment, a couple times over. So, yeah, no, it helped boost my confidence. It helped me, gain some credit work, and it boosted me to get be in line for a promotion. And so, yeah, I think it was worth it.
Would you say that it's good for like all developers in whatever their situation, startups or in corporates or freelancers? What do you think of that?
Yeah, I really do think if you're soloing it, if you have your own business, or if you or you're in a startup, or even working for a big corporation, I think ReactJS Academy, brings an education to people that is not available in other places. And I think whatever business situation you're in, it's going to enhance your work. You're just going to know what you're doing, so it doesn't matter your business situation. You're going to learn things that are going to be helpful in your development, both, business wise and in your own development, whatever projects you're working on the side, so.
Yeah. Okay. So what were your favorite memories of being on the course? Give us a little story.
Okay. I can't tell that one. Okay, no. Okay. You
sure?
you should ask Richard about I forget the guy's name from Spain. He has a very fond way of remembering people's names.
Yeah.
And you should ask Richard.
Okay. I will. So if I was to ask you if you wanted to recommend ReactJS Academy to a friend, what would you say to them?
I would say do it. I would say if you're remotely thinking about doing any kind of learning or boot camp, look up ReactJS Academy, because they're gonna give you the attention you need, and the value is there for the the value is there at ReactJS Academy. And I would say that you would get a lot of one-on-one attention, that you're going to come back having the confidence you need to do whatever project that you're working on, and that they're gonna treat you great and give you good food, and and interact with you on a professional level that's just going to make you feel confident and know your stuff. So
Yeah.
I just say do it. Why not do it? Why not do it? So
That's brilliant. Well, Lara, thank you so much. I do really, really appreciate it. And we all do here at ReactJS Academy. So thank you. And I hope you continue onwards. So that's it for this video. I'd like to thank Lara. I'd like to thank all the other students who are on the course with her. And check us out at reactjs.academy, and on all social media at ReactJS Academy. So thank you very much, and goodbye.